Jurors began deliberating Tuesday in the trial of Daniel Penny, accused of manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide in the death of Jordan Neely during a subway altercation in May 2023. Penny, a 26-year-old former Marine, restrained Neely in a chokehold after Neely allegedly made violent threats to passengers.
East Village in Manhattan, so I take the subway multiple times a day. In this instance, I was coming from school. I got out of class around 2:15, and I took the J Street. I was at J Street Metrotech, took the Uptown F train. At Second Avenue, a man came on, stumbled on. He appeared to be on drugs. The doors closed, and he ripped his jacket off and threw it at the people sitting down to my left. I was listening to music at the time, and he was yelling, so I took my headphones out to hear what he was yelling. And the three main threats that he repeated over and over was, "I'm going to kill you. I'm prepared to go to jail for life, and I'm willing to die." This was a scary situation. And Mr. Neely came on. He was threatening. I'm 6'2", and he was taller than me. So it was, and there's a common misconception that Marines don't get scared. We're actually taught one of our core values is courage, and courage is not the absence of fear, but how you handle fear. And I was scared for myself, but I looked around. I saw women and children. He was yelling in their faces, saying these threats. I couldn't just sit still. Some people say that I was holding on to Mr. Neely for 15 minutes. This is not true. I mean, between stops is only a couple minutes. So the whole interaction less than 5 minutes. Some people say I was trying to choke him to death, which is also not true. I was trying to restrain him. You can see in the video, there's a clear rise and fall of his chest, indicating that he's breathing. I'm trying to restrain him from him being able to carry out the threats. And then some people say that this is about race, which is absolutely ridiculous. I didn't see a black man threatening passengers. I saw a man threatening passengers, a lot of whom were people of color. A man who helped restrain Mr. Neely was a person of color. A few days after the incident, I read in the papers that a woman of color came out and called me a hero. I don't believe that I'm a hero, but she was one of those people that I was trying to protect. We were all scared. Mr. Neely was yelling in these passengers' faces, and they looked terrified. The reason why there was no video at the start of the altercation was because people were too afraid getting away from him, and the videos didn't start until they saw the situation was under control. I knew I had to act, and I acted in a way that would protect the other passengers, protect myself, and protect Mr. Neely. I used this hold to restrain him, and I did this by leaving my hand on top of his head to control his body. You could see in the video there's a clear rise and fall of his chest, indicating that he was still breathing. And I'm calibrating my grip based on the force that he's exerting. And I was trying to keep him on the ground until the police came. I was praying that the police would come and take this situation over. I didn't want to be put in that situation, but I couldn't just sit still and let him carry out these threats.
The jury deliberated for over 2 hours on Tuesday, seeking clarification on justifiable actions and reckless behavior under the law. Deliberations will continue Wednesday, with Penny facing up to 15 years in prison if convicted of manslaughter, or up to 4 years for criminally negligent homicide. Assistant District Attorney Daphne Yoren argued that Penny's chokehold caused Neely's death. However, defense attorneys countered with testimony from a forensic pathologist who attributed Neely's death to a combination of medical and environmental factors, including a sickle cell trait and synthetic drugs. Multiple witnesses testified to fearing for their safety during the incident. One passenger, a woman in her 60s, described Neely's behavior as terrifying and called Penny a hero for stepping in. "This isn't about race," she said. "This is about a man protecting people who were scared for their lives." ADA Yoren suggested racial bias might have influenced Penny's actions. Defense attorneys and witnesses rejected this notion, emphasizing Penny's effort to protect all passengers, regardless of race. In his police statement, Penny described Neely as making explicit threats. "I'm going to kill everyone here. I don't care if I go to jail for life," Penny added. "I acted to protect others. It was not about race. It was about safety." Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg's decision to prosecute Penny has sparked widespread debate. Critics question why Penny faces severe charges when other individuals with histories of violent crimes have received reduced sentences under restorative justice policies. New York City Mayor Eric Adams defended Penny, acknowledging the complexity of the situation. This was a response to a threatening and escalating environment. The case has polarized public opinion, with protests erupting across the city. Neely's death highlighted systemic challenges in mental health support and public safety, while Penny's actions have ignited discussions on self-defense and race. The defense rested its case Friday, opting not to have Penny testify, relying instead on his recorded statements and corroborating witness accounts. Closing arguments began December 2nd, with jurors expected to return a verdict soon.